What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How you feeling?
I'm good.
Good to see you, bro.
You too.
Here with Eric Stolte. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
All right, good. I've never asked you how do you pronounce your name.
Good guess.
Good guess. Yeah, man, me and Eric used to work together, and then we're gonna do some stuff. He's got this new sport he's been working on. What's it called?
Pickleball.
Pickleball. And he's been going from, he went from, I think he was telling me earlier, if you don't mind me sharing, zero drop shoe, from the zero drop over to now being in shoes for pickleball. And so this is some new sport that's taking the world by storm from what I understand. And so we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get Eric's foot fixed up. He's got some stuff going on with one of his tarsals. Yeah, there you go. This guy's probably got some of the most flexible feet I've seen, man, because he's been working on him and Mike Sully. Shout out to Mike Sully. Shout out to Sully. All right, so yeah, we're gonna work with one of his feet to see if we can get him some mobility back inside there in between the tarsals and see if we can't get rid of this pain. So we're just gonna hop on the table here. All right, so I'm gonna sit and just hop up on the table like this. That way everybody can see what I'm doing and I ain't gotta worry about too much going on. I think they'll both just go. All right, so first toe, second toe, third toe. So in between the second and third?
Yeah, well, mostly the second, third, a little bit, but I would say it's, pretty much this stuff.
Gotcha. All right, so we're working with the first two digits here, and yeah, already I can already tell there's a bunch of congestion right between. So sometimes what happens, because there's these little muscles inside, in between the bones of the foot, you'll have some stuff that'll start to happen. So one of the ways that I like to work with that is I'll just like come through with the finger between the bone on the bottom and a finger pressing between the bone at the top, and usually you can get to something. So I already got a twitch response. So he's obviously got some stuff happening inside of here neurologically. That's why these are called neuromas. I'll put a description on the screen so you can see what that is. But already, yeah, how's that pain threshold?
I mean, it's not too bad.
Yeah, so we're just helping the tissues to unravel themselves. So you don't have to be too forceful. I think a lot of people feel like they have to push into the tissues to get them to do what they want, but you really don't have to. So it's literally, it's a really simple thing. Index finger, try to find in between the bone of the first and second toe, this is Eric's situation, but you may find one in between your first and second toe or your fourth and fifth toe. And so it's just a matter of index finger, and I'm pressing, trying to touch the fingers together. And that's enough to start to open space up. You can feel the tissue starting to compress. So you can try to get at this with a golf ball, but that's why we need each other, folks. I'm serious. You gotta be able to put your hands on people, and you need people around you that can put their hands on you, because it's the only way to get it done. I think I haven't even talked to Eric about this, but I figured I'd do it on camera. The NIH has this new article that they released about a study that they did in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, where people were suffering from touch starvation and skin hunger. Yeah, because of the pandemic was starting to happen. People had already started to grow a little bit more cold in their affection because of the Me Too thing. Like, that's a big thing. So now you can't hug people the way that you used to. And some people, that hug that they used to get at work, even though other people were offended by it, it was probably doing their psychology some good, right? So now they're seeing that people are starved for touch. And so like having different resources that you can look at through YouTube or Instagram, just learn different tactics and try them on your friends, man. That's what I did when I was in high school, no lie. Me and my friends would literally skip school, and it was probably like 98% female that I would skip school with. So of course I probably had some other agendas if I think back to it now. Being a little 15-year-old kid with a massage book, man, what'd you think I was gonna be thinking about? You know what I'm saying? But
that's a genius. High schoolers out there.
So I was practicing on my friends, man. With no ill intent, I wasn't trying to do anything weird, but I just wanted to get better at doing massage work. So yeah, man, use your friends, bro. It ain't nothing weird. There's nothing weird about it. All right, so we've got his foot pretty loosened up just by creating a little bit of pressure on the top and the bottom of the foot. I'm gonna have Eric wiggle his toes a little bit. How's that feel when you go up and down? Dorsiflex, plantar flex.
It feels a little lazy.
All right, so we didn't do anything but hold some pressure, and it wasn't a crazy amount of pressure so that my fingers were killing me. The whole goal was to compress the tissue so that you can get some improved circulation in the area, and then let the body do what it's going to do. We're going to work into some other stuff, but first, before we do that, I'm going to have Eric to stand up, move his feet around a little bit, just put some weight on it, see if he feels a little different. Got a little crack there, that's good. Probably in the ankle a little more than the toe. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Feel good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so because Eric mentioned his peroneals, or the front of the leg, we're gonna work on some of that stuff. I'm gonna give you some or what I would consider a pro tip on this, what I found to be the case. So when a person tries to take their foot into plantar flexion, right, you get a lot of pressure at this band. They're called retinaculum, right? So what we'll do is, I'm gonna have Eric he's already doing, he's showing me some leg over here. Eric's always good for showing some leg, man. All right, bro. I'm gonna have you to draw your toes up towards you. You're gonna hold that, and I'm gonna get right into the corner of his ankle and just apply a little bit of pressure going up the leg. I'm gonna have him to straighten his foot out down towards me. Yep. And it's not a lot of pressure. I'm just pushing right on this retinaculum right through here. It's a band of tissue. It's like a tendon, but it's in a sheet-like form. And he's just gonna keep on going. And you don't even have to take your time to do it. So it doesn't have to unravel too long because we're gonna do a few reps. And the thing that I like to do this now, if you find that your client tends to produce a little bit more sweat when you're working on them, not your client. It could be a client, it could be your friend, whatever it is. But use a little bit of water, put some water on the tips of your finger, and what it'll do is it'll help you to grab the tissue under the skin a lot better. It's a weird thing, but it grabs the tissue really, really good. So I'm gonna have Eric to draw his toes back up to him, and he's gonna do the same thing back down to me, but this time he's gonna move a little bit quicker. Boom, and all we're doing is just creating drag up to him. We're gonna open the retinaculum for about 3 reps, and then bam. So now he's got a little bit of space through there. All of that tissue, if it's tight down on here, then all of the tendons in his peroneals are going to be pulled tight. It's just taking the slack out of a rope that you need. You need a little bit of slack in these things. So now, one of the chapters in my book, I haven't numbered the chapters, but we talk about the muscle compartment. And that's the thing that holds the muscle fibers in there. And sometimes, because that's also a tendinous-like tissue, no blood supply, nothing innervated but grounding fluid, which I'm just now finding out. Didn't even know the name of that, but it's called grounding fluid or interstitial fluid. It occupies those space to help that tissue to stay lubricated and mobile, but sometimes it needs some outside help. So Eric's foot is nice and relaxed right here. Right at the top of his leg is where there's like, I would call it a fossa. I don't even know how else to say it. It's like a hollowed out area in a bone. That's what it is, right? So you're gonna go right up here to the top of the peroneal, and if Eric could do me a favor, turn your body forward so that they can see what I'm talking about here, bro. You can just drop your leg off, and I'm gonna have him to move back around, but it's just off of the patella tendon. You've got that guy right there. What is this called again, Eric?
The bone?
Yeah, the something tubercle or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. Just off to the lateral aspect of that, you'll find like this area where it's like a hollowed out cove. Imagine a beach where the water runs up to it and it's like deep, 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 shallow, 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 shallow. And you'll feel it right inside of here. You can get like 2 fingers inside there. I'm gonna have Eric to turn his leg back around so that we don't have to have him to support his own weight. But that's what we're pressing into, because I don't know if you can see it from that side. So we're pressing into this, and I'm gonna have Eric to just move his feet in the same way that he was doing. He's gonna dorsiflex and he's gonna plantar flex right through there, boom. Yep. And so opening up that tissue a little bit through there is gonna help him. There's also, he may even notice he can relax his foot a little bit. Right inside of here, is that tender at all? No, good. Tender?
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay, so we're starting to get into the area where I think it's the epimysium. I'm not gonna get into them, but there's 3 of them. The mysium stooge there's 3 of these jokers, man. Epimysium, paramysium, and endomysium.
Oh.
Yeah, endo. So So we're working with the paramycin, and right here, as we get to the middle of his shin, Eric feels a little bit of pressure in there, right? Yeah. So I'm getting a twitch response right now, which, I mean, some people, I just argued with a guy on Twitter that you can feel a twitch response, and he was like, massage therapists are delusional and thinking they can feel things under the skin instead of, all right, whatever, man. If I feel something jumping under my finger, I can feel it. And that's what a twitch response is. And it's been documented plenty of times. But you get inside of here, and if you feel that twitch, if you're paying attention to your touch enough, and I'm just going right down the shin here. You felt that? Yeah, so we're getting jumps right up under here. So he obviously has some muscle tissue down here that's been actually being worked a little bit, and I'm just feeling it. It's just twitching right under my hand. This is what it's called a rapid twitch response. We also got a blood supply up under there too. So we're pressing down the side of this, pressure. Not too much anymore, but this is where you felt a little bit more of it. So you could do this for yourself. It's literally just taking a thumb, walking through here and be like, oh, I feel a little something. That's probably a little bit more congestion right in there, right?
Yeah. Push probably harder.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, I can feel that.
There we go. So I'm just getting closer to the bone. I have this north, south, east, west movement that I like to follow. So as soon as you make pressure straight down towards the floor, you go north, south, west, and east or west, whatever one you want to do. But I try to go around in a little area, and that little cross pattern usually opens up a nice area of the fascia that you help to accelerate its mobility. Also, once you get down towards the bottom of the leg, you'll start to feel a little bit more tension. You feel something right in there? Yeah. See, these are the areas that are a lot of strain, especially if you're running around playing pickleball. I'm pretty sure these guys are getting down out here, man. I know they're not playing around because this thing is pretty hot right now. So, yeah, these two things right here. So working between the tarsals of the foot, when these things start to get stuck, you can try to do it yourself in the sideline position, but I mean, not in the sideline position, but just taking your foot and bringing it up here. You should be able to work on that by pressing. Sometimes if you even can use your thumbs, you'll get a little bit more leverage. But get a friend, man. Be like, hey, I got this video that I saw the other day, and I need you to help me out with it. And just get them to help you out. So we got the foot, work the tarsals in between. Another thing I like to do is just do some eversion and inversion of individual tarsals as opposed to doing the whole foot, right? Separate the bones by grabbing each one of the bones and twist them around each other. It feels really good if it's done with intention. Don't be trying to break people's feet, man, because people are sensitive nowadays, you understand? So we got that. Work the shin right through here, that connection point where that tendinous tissue lays over to support the lower leg. You can even go to the outside edge. Just work the edges of the muscle as opposed to taking your massage gun and going right down the middle. Speaking of massage guns, I'm gonna show you guys another tip. Bing. We'll go with this one. If you have a hypervolt, it comes with these little spongy things. You may have one that has this little spongy. You got the spongy one, you show it.
I always use the pointy one.
Yeah, it's a good one. When you get close to bone though, you want to be super careful. You can hit some stuff, and if you rattle the bone a couple of times, you're gonna be like, I'm not working close to that bone anymore. So you miss out on the great benefits of it. I hope I got some charge. We're charged. We're just gonna get right. So I'm gonna work along the bone with the soft spongy thingy madookie here. And in order to get control, I like to have good control of what I'm doing. So I'll put a finger on the gun so I can really get inside of here and then work north and west. Feel pretty good? Yeah. So right at the bone, you can really work these areas without having to worry about bouncing off of stuff. And you can do this for your clients and yourself. It's really good for yourself. Outside edge of the leg usually is pretty good if you don't use too much pressure. And then that little cove area that I was talking about earlier, man, this attachment feels great around the knee. You don't even have to really be too careful. Like, you just want to make sure that you're not sitting over like the patella and bouncing off of certain things, but give yourself some time to work in those little fossils or little spaces that you can see. Work the calf on this other side. Make sure you get right in between there so you can get some of that soleus. Work your malleoli down here, your inside and your outside malleoli, man. This stuff feels Feel pretty good? Yeah, so these little things that you could use that you might not actually think about. And if you really want a nice go with this guy here, this attachment, you can do a whole facial massage with it. Get your temples, in the cheeks, open your sinuses up. Really good for that. So, how you feel, dude? Yeah? Let's test the pain. That's the only way to know if we did what we thought we were doing.
Still a little tender on that ball.
Excellent. So what that shows us is that little bit of time that I used during the instructional on how to do this stuff wasn't enough time. So we're going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I'm going to get down with working this thing the way I'm supposed to. But you guys, if you got any other questions, go to ProfessorStrep.com and or follow Eric Stolte on IG. The dude's a genius when it comes to mobility, man. I mean, strength training, all that good stuff. And he's also picked up a new hobby, which
Pickleball.
that's the one. Yeah. Our dude, I mean, not dude, dudes and dudettes.
Some girls.
Yeah. Check you out next time. Bam, dude.